Hi everyone, DJ here with Dreaming Joy 1111. I have another dream for you, but before I go over the dream and its meaning, I want to introduce myself. I am a dreamwalker. That means that I have the ability to receive messages while I sleep. I can be pulled into other people's dreams and experiences. This is the main way that Spirit speaks to me. Sometimes a person or their soul will pull me into their dreams. This is because the soul or spirit is trying to tell the person something important. If that person is ignoring the message, or they for some reason can't figure out their dream, I can be sent in. When I am in someone else's dream, I can see everything from both first person point of view and third person point of view. I can see and feel things from your perspective and my own perspective. This means that I can see your dream from angles that you might not. In these videos where I share your dreams, I will go over the dream meanings from multiple angles. I will describe the dream, anything I felt intuitively from the dream, and I will pull tarot cards for the energy that I experienced and see if there's any messages from Spirit there. I will give you some of the traditional meanings of any symbols or things that I see in the dream as well. At the end, I will explain what I think is going on and what I think can be done about it. I will be uploading new videos several times a week, as well as any messages I get from my meditations and astral projections. Please help the channel grow so we can get these messages out to more dreamers. It would be great if you can like, subscribe, comment, and share videos. I do ask that you don't tag people in the videos if you're sharing them online. This is because some of these dreams are very personal, and if you tag people in them, their other friends and connections may see the tag and make assumptions. That could cause problems in other people's lives. If there is a video that you know someone specific needs to see, it might just be better to text them the link instead. Then they can decide in private if it resonates for them or not. If you are returning to the channel, you can skip the introduction section in the future. I will try to always remember to timestamp each of the videos. So I just want to start out saying that the person who pulled me into their dream last night may be hiding something, or that something may be hidden from them. And I don't mean something in this world. I'm not talking about keys or money. Let me try to unpack this dream for the dreamer. When I came into the dream, it felt a little like I was late to the dream. Sort of like if you're late to the party and you can sort of see that there were things happening beforehand. It felt like the dream had started without me. I wonder if this is why your soul called out to me. There was a very strong sense that you have already had this dream or a version of it multiple times. I also got the sense that you recognized me once I got there. You looked back at me a few times, sort of like you wanted to make sure I was still there, but no worries, dreamer. I may have been late, but I stayed with you the whole time. When I got there, you were climbing the stairs of a large building or structure. The building had a sort of medieval feel to it, which seemed strange because there was modern lighting. So it felt like a very old building. It felt like it was made of old stones. It had that sort of cold chill to it, but you know, modern lighting and signs up. So, yeah. You also seemed to know where you were and which way to go. It felt like this was your home, even though it wasn't anyone's home. You looked over in the direction of something on the floor, and we both recognized that they were tarot cards. Really old tarot cards. You didn't just recognize what they were, but also that they belonged to you somehow. It felt more, for me, I felt like it was, oh, there's tarot cards on the ground. But with you, the feeling was more like, finally my tarot cards, like my tarot cards. Those are my tarot cards. You looked back at me, then turned towards the cards on the ground. And we went over, but you couldn't pick them up. They actually were floor tiles. So those tarot cards were sort of in the tiles of the floor. And we saw them as your tarot cards, but now we can see that they are small floor tiles and that they are part of the building. We see other people there with us, but they are taking pictures and paying no attention to us. I'm not even sure that we even exist to them at all. We continue to climb, and to our left is a doorway. The entrance into the room of that door is blocked off by a red like velvet rope, like one of those, you know, they do this at banks or they do this at theaters sometimes. They cordon off the area with like a red, I guess it's velvet, and it's a rope. It connects to one small pole to the next, just to keep people in, out, or in line. So we continue to climb, and to our left is the doorway, and we can't get through because of this this red rope that's blocking it. It kind of felt like you can look but you can't touch, like that kind of situation. And people could peek in through the door and they can take pictures, but the room was very much just standing still in time. So the room looked like it was, I don't know how to explain this, like old books on a shelf and a place to sit and lay down, and but all the furniture was really old. Everything in there was really old. It really looked like they froze time. And then we are looking in and we both see them. They're on an old writing desk. Your tarot cards are sitting there and they are just out of reach. We had seen them in the floor tiles, and I think that was to guide us toward the room. But now they are just out of reach again, but in this room that seems to be preserved in some way. And you look at me, and then there is a knowing that we were going to break the rules. Almost kind of felt like that was something you've done before, breaking the rules. And we just know we're going to go in. We're going to go into that room. Because you really want these tarot cards, and I also really want you to have them too. And as we are about to go in, we both feel immense fear. There is a man, and you know him. He is very tall. He has red blonde hair. His skin is pale with some freckles. he was broad, so not skinny, not too overweight. He was just broad, a little bit of a gut. You definitely knew him. But the most striking thing I remember about him are his eyes. They are blue, and they are very intense. As soon as we looked into his eyes, we were drowning in fear. It was just a lot of fear. We couldn't look away from his eyes, like we were trapped, but also just scared and didn't want to look in his eyes. And he was there in that moment, but it also felt like he was there a long time ago, or like that he's always there. He was blocking you from your cards. You felt it. Do you remember him, dreamer? He was there to stop you specifically. And he also saw me. You weren't the only one that saw me and recognized me in some way. He saw me and he smirked. And it was creepy. That room that we were trying to get into, that room was on the left of this stairway. So we turned and followed the crowd of people that were going to the right. And then that's when I woke up from the dream. So let me be really clear. People don't usually see me in the dreams. And I think that was a past life dream that was seeping into the future. And I'll go over this more at the end when I discuss my experience of the dream. I just need you to know what type of dream you pulled me into before we go over any symbols and dream meanings and the tarot. Because time is not linear. It is all happening at the same time, just like in your dream. Past, present, and future are all just different nows. They're just different nows, but they exist in the same sort of space. So, meanings of specific symbols in this dream. It was a tall building. There were a lot of stairs. Like the stairway was one that, turns in, and then at each floor you can go one direction or another, but there was multiple levels. Dreaming of a tall building with a lot of rooms could be that you are putting your ambitions and goals on hold. It may mean that you need to go to a simpler way of doing things. Rooms in a dream usually represent parts of ourselves. One room, for example, could be our ambitions. One room might be our fears. Another might be the things we don't like about ourselves. I mentioned a little about this in a previous Dreamwalker video on this channel. In that dream, the room was a bathroom. Another way of looking at all the rooms is that of knowledge of some kind. So each room could be about knowledge. Being blocked from a room, usually being blocked in a dream, is a catalyst for feeling this way in your waking life. And it is helpful to look at what you were feeling when you were being blocked. In this case, you felt fear. And this may be a sign that you are afraid of rejection or failure. The thing is, this dream was different. So I am not too sure about this meaning for you. It was the person that you recognize that scared you, not the block itself. So recognizing a person in a dream, if you did recognize someone, it may mean that this person is a part of yourself. You are recognizing a part of you. But again, I have to say that this man in your dream was very much a separate energy. seeing tarot cards in a dream. If you're dreaming about tarot cards, it's not actually likely to happen to a lot of people. A lot of people are not dreaming about tarot cards. These are divination tools that help us talk to spirit. The fact that you are seeing and even trying to get to these cards means that you likely have a divine connection to spirit in some way. It may be that you have messages coming in that you cannot fully decode, and that you are being shown the way to better understand these messages. I'm kind of curious to know what your life path number is, to be honest. This could, knowing your life path number might shine a light on any spiritual gifts that you might have, even if you're just barely starting to recognize that there's something different about you. Life path numbers can really help with that. I'm just curious. Very nosy. So not being able to get something in a dream. The dream meaning of not being able to get to something or somewhere in a dream may mean that you don't know the way. It might mean that you are feeling a lack of progress in some area of your life. Maybe you know what you want, but the steps on how to get to what you want might be hidden. It could also mean the fear of the unknown or a lack of goals altogether. Now I want to look at the energy of the dream using tarot cards, which is kind of funny. I think this is fitting given that your dream was about trying to get your old tarot deck. And I'm going to use the Light Seers deck. This one, pre-shuffled. Two of Swords, Six of Swords, Page of Swords, Ace of Wands. I don't know. Good enough room. Ace of Wands, Queen of Cups, and the Page of Wands. The Two of Swords is like being at a crossroads in your life. It could be about facing your fears and making a change, even if you can't see which way to go. See, she can't see, she's blindfolded. But she's sort of being pulled in two different directions in this card. And the Six of Swords is telling me that whatever choice you make, it's probably going to bring you some peace. I mean, she doesn't look very happy there, but it is a card about moving on to calmer waters. So it's probably going to feel a lot better than here once you make the choice. Next, the Page of Swords is all about receiving information. Not just info, but significant insight. It is more about knowledge than it's about feelings. And also, I just want to point out there are a lot of swords, so there might be a lot of information. It's interesting that you have the Ace of Wands following so many swords, and you can see that there's this person is becoming enlightened. This information is enlightening to the dreamer. This is telling me that from all this information that you either were or that you are going back and forth with, you have been inspired by it. The Ace of Wands is about finding a new path or purpose. It is a new beginning of some kind. We got the Queen of Cups, which is about, empathy and imagination. She is also one to go after her dreams, and I almost feel like this is you. The Page of Wands is usually about good news. It can also talk about courage and optimism. You may need to focus on the positive and focus on courage with whatever new situation seems to be unfolding in front of you. And I am sorry about my dogs. They are in the backyard being dogs. It feels like a lot of change is coming your way based off of these cards. I kind of want to see what's under the deck. We got the Tower. I think that makes sense. The Tower is about change, out with the old to make room for what's new. And even though it looks scary, I mean, lightning's hitting it. It's really just about transformation. It's needed. Yeah, the Emperor. Wow. And the Eight of Wands. I mean, the Emperor, this just screams out to me that you are going to be fine. The Emperor paves his own path, and they are stable, safe, and disciplined, and logical. This card may be saying that you are powerful also. And seeing the Eight of Wands is probably just saying that, whatever this change is, whatever transformation is happening here, I think it's moving in pretty quick. I think it's pretty fast. Do this here so you can see. But I just want to look at this one, Celtic Spirit Oracle. If I can get them out of the bugs. We should break the camera. That's a good idea. Surrender, let go, can you see it? Surrender, let go, freedom, flow. Shaman spiral, awareness, practice, and connection. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe you need to just buy a tarot deck and start practicing. Okay, so let's look at my experience. In this part of the dream message, I want to go over, what I saw in the dream or what I felt. I want to mention again that this felt like a past life dream, and that it was trying to merge in some way with this version of you. I do get the impression that this is not the first time you have had this dream, or that it's not the first time that you've seen this place or the man with the blue eyes. I am also certain that you did recognize those tarot cards as being your cards. You really do want them back. So what I think I saw was an actual museum. That's why there were people taking pictures. That's why the building felt very old and also sort of modernized. I wonder if anyone watching this video has ever traveled to a place or to a museum that had a room with tarot cards on the table or on that writing desk, because that's interesting. But if the place does sound familiar, and we can let this dreamer know, maybe they can visit this place. I'm not saying that you should sneak into the room. I'm just saying might be cool to see that. So call me crazy, but I think it may have been your home or a place that you lived. I think that room where your tarot cards were was actually your room, but in a past life. I don't even know how many of you believe in that sort of thing, but that's what it felt like to me. And I also feel like those cards and that man may have had something to do with the way that you died or a punishment in some way. I think that you may have been hiding those cards, or they were found. You were found out. Remember that in some parts of history, our history, divination and tarot cards was seen as evil, and people talking to spirits were punished and often killed. So the man with the blue eyes scared both of us, and I feel like we know what he was capable of. I really hope that you are watching this video, or that someone watching shares it with you, because I really want to know what other dreams you might be having. I have a very strong sense that you have a lot of power and intuition in you. I mean, you recognized me. You turned and you looked at me, and nobody ever does that. I also feel strongly that you are blocking it out, all of it, and you're doing it out of fear. On the one hand, I think you are remembering past lives and evolving into someone who can bend time in this way. But I also feel like you are afraid to let go. And that makes sense, because that makes sense. You may want to be like everyone else. Everybody might want to be like everyone else, but I think you are also really curious. I think you really want to know. And I mean, either way, a tower is going to come. You can feel it. I felt it. And once you get those memories back, once your cup is filled with this new insight, you will not be able to ignore it. It will be as much a part of you as those tarot cards seem to be in your old house or castle or whatever it is whatever that place is. And yeah, I do think you will get a lot of attention. I do. Just like those tourists taking pictures, people are going to want to see what you can do. So yeah, I hope that resonates. Anyways, if you do remember this dream, please comment about it. I am so nosy and curious at this point. It was a really cool dream. Probably top 5 dream for me. Please help spread these messages. I am just starting out, and I want more people to pay attention to their dreams going forward. All right. Bye.